And we're back for YouTube. Thanks for tuning in again. This is the second part of our NHS charity stream. So my name's StayWeird1993, or Aaron if you know me in real life, or StayWeird1993 vlogs if you know me off YouTube. So what we're going to do is we're going to carry on doing what we're doing, which is questing through Frostfire. We're level 95. We're aiming to at least get into the Legion content by the end of the day. Should be not that big a deal. That quest was just a bit lengthy because I'm doing the story quest as well, because again I'm a bit of an Orc fanboy and I've said this a few times, but I will quest through Frostfire and I will do the Orc storyline because I enjoy it. So again, it's a casual stream. We're not here to speed level, we're just here to raise awareness for the NHS, carry on streaming and have a little fun, because I think there's too many who take games too seriously, and I want to just show that, you know, the casual player in WoW doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad player. It just means that, you know, taking in the surroundings, enjoying the lore and enjoying the story and enjoying trying new things doesn't make you anything other than an average player. Just because I'm not cutting edge raiding, because I'm not an arena player and not a PvP player, goes to show you can still provide an entertaining stream even if that's not the case. Get good, scrub. I don't need to get good. I play Horde. That means I'm automatically good. Or at least better than the Alliance. Again, an underappreciated zone. I mean, again, looking at this, I mean, this became Blade's Edge Mountains, but I absolutely adore this zone. I have a couple of Alliance characters, don't get me wrong, but they're mainly for just I like the race, not the faction. So races I enjoy are the Draenei. Oh, Void Elves are cool, but they are edgy boys. They are edgy boys, but I love them. They are my favourite edgy boys, except for Demon Hunters. Demon Hunters are my favourite edgy boys. You see, the Nightborn makes more sense for a Horde race because of the Night Elf lore surrounding them, which is that they feel that the Night Elves, who were their kin, abandoned them. Whereas the Void Elves, again, feel abandoned because of the rejection of the Void and how Illyria is kind of their faction leader. And Illyria, of course, is a high elf, and so she's not Horde aligned because she's not a blood elf, which is a very small distinction. People are going, oh, why aren't high elves playable for the Alliance? They don't need to be, because high elves are playable. It's called a blood elf. Literally,
Hagar will join us on the way. Come, Thrombar lies just over the ridge.
The Nightborn do have a difference
I've been scouting
to normal Night Elves, because they are the ones who are exposed to arcane magic for a lot longer. They are just like a different evolution offshoot of the elves.
We're certain the Shadow Council is
because the Blood Elves, the Night Elves, the Nightborn, and the Trolls all came from the same race originally. The character model, yeah. They're just a modification. They're a modification of that skeleton. In the same way, the Zandalari Troll. The Zandalari Troll is a modification of the Night Elf. Well, the male Zandalari Troll is the male Night Elf model, but modified.
It's imperative we find the Council's base of operations.
So it just uses the same rigging. That's about it. The models themselves are more unique.
Commander, if you'd be so
oh, no, the Nightborn, well, because they're Horde, I think they try to give them a bit more flavour of this race needs to feel like it belongs in the Horde.
The savior of Wargall will vouch for it.
Champion of the Frostwolf clan. If they are friends of yours, then they are welcome here.
Makra! Great!
Watch yourself out there.
Please be
Those
swift
things
and
come out of
merciful.
nowhere.
mother of wolves is the true victim here.
See, what I want to
What is it?
see is, and I said this in a few earlier streams, and I don't know whether it's worth it or not, but it's part of the troll customization. They're not redeemable at this point, but I would love to see blood trolls from BFA
I require a target.
as a customization option, but then at the same time, how would you have an irredeemable
Have a target.
blood god worshipping
I need to
subsect
target
of trolls
something
suddenly decide they're going to join the horde? You know, it's like they don't just surrender and go, oh yeah, we'll just abandon our old god Gahoon abomination thing and come and fight for the horde. No, there'd have to be an interesting storyline to explain it. Yeah, given that the horde murdered thousands of them, yeah.
I do not have a target. I require a target. I cannot attack that.
Can old gods really die? That is a really good question. Now, I'm because I'm a lore buff for this sort of stuff. I can talk about this for days. Old gods, can they really die? Well, their physical form. In the physical form,
I
yes.
cannot
So
attack that target.
Xalatath is an old god, I believe,
I
because
need to
she.
target something.
There is an unnamed fifth old god that was absorbed by the others or killed by the others, who and is only referred to as a her and is never named.
I require
So
a
I
target.
believe that the unnamed old god is Xalatath, and I believe that Xalatath was stored in the essence of the blade, and the reason and Xalatath is still around. Spoilers, but she's still around, and she's exploring the cosmos. So we know Xalatath isn't dead. Yeah, absorbing the essence of an old god so it doesn't return. Yeah. So here's the thing. Nyalotha. It's unclear with Nyalotha because if we're going by, like, for example, the Legion, I mean, I know the old gods are not affiliated with the Legion, but think about it this way. I'm going to tame that.
I am out of range.
Why is it not tameable? Okay. But anyway, the old gods, because bear in mind Il'gynoth in the Emerald Nightmare, upon killing him, says, I journey to Nyalotha. So, does that mean that Nyalotha is like the Shadowlands for the old gods? Is that their death realm? Is Nyalotha the dreaming
I
city
do not have a target.
where old gods go when they die? And if so, why when we fight N'Zoth in Nyalotha do we not see Cthulhu and Yogg-Saron and Ysaraj?
I need to target something first.
And if that is the case, then does that mean that they have their own death realm, or does that mean that that something's they are changed somehow? I believe that N'Zoth may be defeated, but N'Zoth maybe knew that defeating him in his realm would send him to the Shadowlands. That's something we might have something to do with there. I don't think we're done with the old gods, and especially not because we know about Nyalotha as like a death realm for N'Zoth. Why would that be exclusive to N'Zoth and not for, say, Yogg-Saron, who we killed him physically. But where did he go? It's like a self-created hell. Yeah, but then it's like Nyalotha was created by N'Zoth because it's his horrific. It's like his vision. He created Nyalotha, and it's a plane of existence in which he exists. So, did he create it? Was it a prison? And if that's the case, what happens if the other old gods have their own Where's Cthulhu?
Observe and
Where is
reflect.
Yogg-Saron? Because where did they go when they got killed?
It sounds like they've conjured demonic eye sentries.
You and I will
Because if they went to Nyalotha, then where were they? Which means, in my eyes, they can't have gone to Nyalotha because that would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous to say, oh, they went to Nyalotha when they died, and then not see them there when we go to Nyalotha. So I think that we may have to contend with the old gods once again. Now, what? Now this might be a semi-controversial statement, but what's to say that the old gods, when they've died, haven't gone to the Shadowlands like the other ones? What's to say Yogg-Saron isn't in the Shadowlands, or Cthulhu, or Ysaraj? Yeah, so you find Xalatath and help release her from the dagger.
Power they're drawing on.
It's the Naru in the
We
ground.
should subjugate these pale-orcs.
An intruder! Let's leave.
Yeah, so Xalatath, in Battle for Azeroth, you find her on a Naga altar, and you basically help her, and she presents herself to sort of N'Zoth, kind of basically backstabs you, and releases herself from the dagger so that the dagger can be used as a vessel. But that said, on that front, you that dagger is then used in the N'Zoth raid. And what's interesting still, what's interesting even more so, I would say, is that it's used to stab N'Zoth's carapace to open up to go to within N'Zoth to fight his true form. Which means that that blade could have been used to store the essence of N'Zoth, and how do we know what we killed in Nyalotha wasn't like a weakened version of N'Zoth after the essence had been sucked into the blade? Because the blade exploded. So if the blade exploded during the Nyalotha raid, what happens? What happens then? Where are they? And yeah, so Xalatath was freed, and then Xalatath went to explore the cosmos, which is fine, but that means they've left her open to be a villain later, or a hero, but yeah, excuse me. I think that it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Xalatath, or Naifu, as I call her. You see, yeah, she seems happy to do her thing, except for where she double crosses you in the BFA stuff. She has like no interest in the affairs of mortals, effectively. And she's kind of like very. Well, yeah, and it's like, but what has she gone to find? And also, in the Nyalotha raid, again, spoilers before I say what I'm going to say next, but Ajara says that she is going to take the fight to the enemy of all, basically, whatever that means. So, Ajara's gone away to do her own thing. So she gets away.
Too far away.
Ah, damn it. She gets away. So Ajara, because she's been imprisoned by, I believe it's Dark Inquisitor Zenesh. Let me find her. Yeah, Dark Inquisitor Zanesh has imprisoned Ajara. And so to break free of that, when we defeat Zanesh, Ajara's like, ah, thanks for that. I'm out, basically. And yeah, that means that Ajara's out there somewhere. That means that Zalatath and Ajara are out there somewhere, is what I'm getting at. Could they work together? Could they both have knowledge of the same thing that they're wanting to deal with?
I do not have a target.
Is it that they want to stop the same thing?
I must get closer.
Is it that they both know something that we don't about the old gods? Because especially how close... I mean, I believe Zalatath is an old god. Does it potentially mean that... Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, okay. Yeah, Brock Lesnar got his ass kicked. But it's interesting, because that means that, as I say, she could be out there. There's a lot of stuff that could happen between them. And if they play it right, they could do like a really interesting sub-story here where you've got Ajara out there, Zalatath still out there. There's a lot they could do with that. Like, again, it's like, what did they know? It's taking forever to kill this thing.
I require a target.
Every time someone writes Brock Lesnar in all capital letters in my chat, I can just hear Paul Heyman going, Brock Lesnar.
I need to target something first.
Or my client, over and over again. But yeah, there's a lot of story threads within WoW that haven't been dealt with, and I'm interested in that, so... It's whether they're going to tie any of that together with Shadowlands, and with that going into Alpha now, I want to see whether these threads are going to get pulled in this expansion, or whether we're going to leave it for later when we do a Void expansion. And anyone who says there's not going to be a Void expansion, it's like, you're wrong. There's going to be a Void expansion, of course there is. There's going to be a Light versus Void expansion, probably the penultimate or final expansion of the game eventually, if you could call it that. I mean, it's like, unless Blizzard run out of ideas how to churn out more enemies, which I don't think they will, because they realise that this game makes them a significant amount of dinero.
I do not have a target.
so there's this is where there's been some cell corruption.
I need to target something first.
I remember distinctly at some point being killed a lot by these things during the Warlords of Draenor, so...
I require a target. I do not have a target.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting the Shadow Council are still a thing here, because we've got... Well, of course they are, Gul'dan.
I need to target something first. I require a target. I do not have a target. I require a target. I need to target something first.
See, I'm going to dismiss my wolf, I'm going back to the spirit there, because I'm finding it difficult to... The wolf's not taking enough aggro, because obviously Growl is off, which is fine, but...
I require a target. I do not have a target. I need to target something first. I require a target. I do not have a target. I need to target something first. I am out of range. I require a target. a target. I need to target something first. I must get closer. I do not have a target.
There we go.
Blood and thunder.
So I heard the Prime Minister's been admitted to hospital.
Strength.
That was interesting. I was like, Jesus Christ. Of all people?
Keep your guard.
Strength and honor.
Let me know when you're ready.
Victory.
There is much we can learn. Gul'dan is with them.
That cave is inside
He was walking around
the
shaking hands in
Golden
hospital, so I was just like, oh my
we
god,
will
okay.
find a way.
Ruins
That's
of
the thing.
Asgard to the west.
For Azeroth. I'll
Every
meet you
Shadow
there.
Council member we kill now is one less headache later.
I was just quite surprised to hear how badly it's got with the intensive care and stuff. It's like, shit's getting real. Like, some people said it wasn't real, like he was hoaxing it, but I'm like, I don't think he was. But then obviously now we know definitely not. But then also these are probably the same people blaming 5G mass for what's happening, so... If you want a good laugh, join one of the 5G conspiracy groups on Facebook. You'll have the time of your life.
I am out of range.
No, they're great. There's one guy who is sat there saying, "Oh, those who've got eyes to see will be able to see the truth."
I require a target.
And then it's and he's like talking about how if you look at the £20 note, how the thing that's definitely a lighthouse is actually a 5G mast, and the radio waves coming off it are 5G radiation, and then where it says 20 and then 20 again, in between there's like a little sigil which said looks like a virus particle, and they're saying that that's what that is, and it's all a conspiracy, and that basically the £20 note predicted the virus outbreak and told us that it's not the virus, it's actually 5G. And they've also said that because the essential workers are putting up the 5G mask while we're in lockdown, but it's a government conspiracy to keep us inside, there are literally people around the country who've been burning them down. before destroying them.
Target something.
Like, that's a real thing.
I do not have a target.
I think the thing is as well, when you look at the scientific data that's been published, you realise that neither of them are actually lethal. Yeah, if you're within 10 meters of the antenna, but how many people are within 10 meters of the actual antenna at all times? You know, like... That's what I say, nuclear power plants are dangerous. Yeah, they are if you're working on yeah. But it's like, that's not a common scenario. So it's like, that's like saying, well, I was saying, oh yeah, nuclear power is really dangerous if you stand inside the reactor unprotected. Well, yeah. But that doesn't mean that everyone who switches on a light bulb at home is going to die of radiation sickness. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But then that's like, I don't know. It's like, I totally get what you mean by that. Like, if they go to work on them and they're not turned off, then it's going to cause some damage. But it's also like saying, well, that's true, but like a wind turbine, you don't send a technician to work on a wind turbine while it's still spinning because it will decapitate them, if not obliterate their entire body. Oh yeah, it's like, this is the thing though, it's, the whole point is people think that they're dangerous. It's like, they're not dangerous if you don't, there's warning signs all around them. It's like, I love people too, it's great. Like, my friend got invited to a Facebook group about it for some reason, so, and there's somebody else I know who keeps posting stuff about 5G. Yeah, cars are dangerous too if you stick your head in the exhaust pipe, stick your head in the engine, put, like, you know, drop a lit piece of paper into the petrol tank or stand in front of a moving one, definitely.
I do not have a target.
And it's like, anything's dangerous if, you know what else is dangerous? Electricity outlets in your house. You want to get rid of all them because if you stick a fork in one, it'll kill you. It's just, it's crazy. And so my friend got it. There's somebody I know who keeps posting 5G stuff, and I literally keep her on there for entertainment. And my other friend, she got invited to apparently a 5G Revealing the Truth group, she invited me to the group because she got the invite, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have some fun today. I spent hours traipsing through the group. There's people who in that group discussing literally like, oh, shall we go round and destroy these masts? It's like, no. And also there's people filming themselves walking up to people working on the masts and interrogating them about the damage and whether it's harmful. And I'm thinking, guys, you are the ones who look stupid here. Because reasons.
I need to target something first. I require a target.
There's a Hosen. He's called Flap. Oh my god, I didn't know about him. And the thing is, all the people, I hate to say it, but the kind of people who are saying these things about 5G and doing these videos and doing all these posts are exactly who I'd expect to do them. I won't go into that any further, I'm just saying they're exactly the kind of people I would expect to do them. The kind of people who share those Facebook "you do not have permission to use my data" posts and say, if you don't want Facebook to use your data, you must copy and paste. Kind of people like that. But honestly, yeah, that and people who think they're actually just woke, and it's like, it's really stupid. You guys, it's like, if you... I'm thinking about going into that group, because I've never commented, because I was invited just for the lols at this point. I'm so tempted to go into the group and start making genuine suggestions that people start wearing like little tinfoil caps under their hats to deflect 5G radiation. I'm so tempted to go, I am a scientist with a degree from the University of Life. And then say, if you want to deflect yourself from the psychic control... Yeah, honestly, a lot of the posts in that group are talking about how apparently 5G is actually a mass mind control device as well. So they're going to use it to subdue and control the people and track everybody. There's some serious Illuminati stuff that gets posted in there. Also, within that 5G Truthers group, they also posted, you know the video that Boris Johnson did from self-isolation, where he was confirming basically he'd been diagnosed with the virus, and it's you know, that one where he was confirmed, they did a freeze frame of that saying, has anyone else noticed that one of his eyes looks reptilian? And there's a whole thing about the Rothschilds and everything like that in there, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm all for conspiracy theories, but come on, it's 5G, it's faster phone internet. There are bigger things to worry about conspiracy theories about. Yeah, exactly. So they're saying, oh, has anyone else noticed that his eye shapeshifted, he revealed his true form on television? It's like, are you serious? I mean, hell, I'm not here to defend Boris Johnson. I don't like the guy, but that's just my personal opinion. However, I don't think he's a shape-shifting reptile. I just think he's somebody who I didn't vote for. Do you know what I mean? It's like... Yeah. And on top of the Illuminati confirmed. It's like when I tell people that my grandma used to work for the Freemasons, worked for the Masonic Lodge in Sheffield, and people ask me if I'm in the Illuminati because of that. I don't help it by having the whole Satanist thing and the actual devil pendant, I suppose, but you know, I'm not saying anything. But it's crazy. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are conspiracy theories in the world that I buy into. But shape-shifting reptiles and 5G being the real outbreak and stuff is not one of them. Such as, well, mainly stuff that, like, I like, for example, it's like the whole, John F. Kennedy is a good example of one that I buy into. Bohemian Grove, yeah. And there's a few that are interesting, like the ones you're mentioning there. But then there's some Yeah, exactly. We all do. And it's yeah, Magneto. What you're talking about? It was Mason from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. He killed JFK. It was Mason. We all know it was Mason. The number station, Mason. What do they mean? So there's a few out there that I think have credibility and things that I find more plausible. Some of which, obviously I don't want to discuss on my stream because then I'm going to sound not like a madman, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist streamer. I'm playing video games. I don't want people to be like, oh, talk about conspiracies again when they see this on YouTube. There are plenty of conspiracy theory YouTubers out there. Shane Dawson does very long conspiracy theory videos. If you ever wanted to hear a conspiracy about Chuck E. Cheese, that's where you go for that.
I do not have a target. I must get closer.
One of my favourite dumb conspiracies is the whole that Jay-Z and Beyonce are the king and queen of the Illuminati as well. Is that really? I'll probably read that book. Yeah, I'm a bookworm. I'm currently rereading this for the God knows how many time. It's the Anton Sanzolove's Satanic Bible. I have it with me most of the time anyway, but I'm just giving it a good read again. I really want to sort of spruce up on some of the things in there that I wanted to cover off. Mainly the Book of Air. Well, I'm not here to convert anybody to my belief system, so I'm not going to tell you you've got to go out and read it, but it's worth a read. I'm not saying read it, but read it. Let's say, my affiliation, if you can see my pendant and the tattoo of the devil on the side of my head, is pretty clear. But, it's a good read, even if you're not into that. It asks a lot of important questions, and it does give you some. It just gives you an alternate perspective on certain things, especially when discussing more dogmatic practices, things like that. I mean, to be fair, you can pick one of those up on Amazon. I'm pretty sure for like $5 anyway. My next read after that is the companion book. So obviously you've got the kind of the occult spells and the unholy Bible. They're the other ones I want to read as well. So
Go away! I will fix this!
oh, level 120. Congrats. Now just to grind out the horrific visions. Oh yeah. You probably want to run some dungeons and stuff, just get your item level up a little. Why is Calamity still up?
I do not have a target.
little slow, I suppose, this dungeon. I don't know whether it's because there's not a lot of DPS going on. I don't think my DPS is very good. I am learning a new class, so... No one's perfect, I guess, but, you know. Jesus Christ. I felt like somebody was going to have to say something about that eventually. So if anybody needed further proof that that time isn't real, then just look at what's happened in quarantine. Day drinking is normal, sleeping till questionable hours is acceptable. Is it even day drinking? Does day and night mean anything anymore? To be fair, the auction house isn't a bad shout. That's what I did with Kungara.
I need to target something first. I require a target.
So we're almost on the last boss of this one now, so...
It will be a pleasure to break you.
Leveling up has made you weak. How is that? How so?
I need to target something first.
So we're almost at the end of the instance now. Unless it was just that one part. Mobs have just leveled up 2 and they're scaled. Ah. Depends what content you're doing, I guess. Are you doing the world quest now, or...? It was just the one. You okay? Second one.
I do not have a target. I require a target. I need to target something first. I require a target. First, I break your spirit. Then, I sell your future. Burn! The elements hear me and obey! Burn!
crystals are strategically located about the ruins. Destroy them with the Heart of Furnace.
Oh, thank you.
I require a target. I do not have a target. I need to target something first. I require a target. I need to target something first. I do not have a target. I require a target. I need to target something first. I do not have a target. I require a target. I need to target something first. I require a target. I do not have a target. I need to target something first. I do not have a target. I require a target.
Be careful, my friend. Gul'dan is not to be underestimated, no matter how prepared you might be.
Still gonna confront Gul'dan.
I remember you. I am not that easy. I won't lower myself to fight you, but I have an idea. Giselda, my beauty, your time has come. What? No! Have fun dealing with this. I'm more beautiful than ever! Give my regards to Khadgar. I've a present coming for him.
Unfortunate. But now we know more. You can take the portal back to Thrum. Knowledge is power. Be vigilant, friend. Commander, what's wrong?
So we've been stunned by Garona.
Khadgar, someone's here.
Sorceress
Assassin!
coward!
Ah!
Gul'dan sends his best.
I knew it. You should have stayed back at the garrison, Archmage.
Nonsense. I had that handled. Cool as a cucumber.
There's no other quests up here, is there now? I forgot about how boring world quests are. Yeah, world quests are, yeah.
Well met. Hail.
I would say you probably want to do the content just to get your gear up, so maybe dungeons and stuff. That would probably be the best thing to do. Have you tried the auction house for gear? Just need to get to this outpost.
I need to target something first.
Everybody pulls their weight. Run with the pack.
looking for Karg Blood Fury right now.
Speak.
Just up ahead, I believe.
Talk to me.
Maybe I can help.
Look Glory to the Horde. Do you need supplies? Beware the wilds. It is a good day to fight. We fight together.
Right. Okay, so where we're at right now, I think is a good place to leave it for this evening, in terms of stream. So we've been playing for about 2 hours. So anyone who's interested in donating to the NHS fund and the charity, the donations end at 9 p.m. on Tuesday evening British time. So I'm going to end the stream here for tonight. We're back tomorrow afternoon for some more streaming, and then maybe tomorrow night, but that'll be after the cut-off time. So the link's in my bio and on the screen right now. I've also linked it on my Instagram under the same username. So if you do want to donate to the NHS to fight the COVID-19 funds, the donations are going ahead at the moment. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more live streaming. So take care, stay safe, and stay indoors.